Yo, good people. It's your homie HerbMan, busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. Boogie, please go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. Yes, sir. And if you're new to the program, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right, so we're coming live from South Africa, live on YouTube, live on TikTok. You guys, please go get somewhere, get situated. I know everybody's like HerbMan over there in South Africa. Woo. Hey, appreciate you all the love. We appreciate all the hate as well. It keeps us encouraged and keeps us motivated, you guys. But here you're going to learn about how to heal thyself, and you cannot heal thyself unless you know thyself. So here we teach you about the human frame and the human design so that you can be well on your way to happiness, wholeness, and wellness. All right, so that's what we do. It's a free information station. You don't have to pay for anything that you hear here today. All you simply got to do is pay attention. And how we do that on the HerbMan Show is by double tapping that screen. You guys are getting us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. Why? Because I'm going to work for it. Okay, and once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll get into the subject matter at hand. All right, so a lot of people have been just confused about what you're doing and how you're doing and what I'm supposed to do. Don't worry about it. We're going to continue to keep teaching you guys so that you can understand very simplistically how to heal yourself. This ain't difficult, okay? It's difficult to take in, but it ain't difficult to do. It's difficult to accept, but it ain't difficult to do. It's difficult to realize, but it ain't difficult to do. It's difficult for somebody to tell you about yourself and don't nobody know you like that, but it ain't difficult to do. So the thing is, let's get over the barrier of the acceptance of something knows you in a way that something shouldn't know you. Okay, now here's the thing. I don't know y'all, but nature does. And with your birthday, that's why it's eye-whopping. It's not because I have a gift. It's just because I am decoding the message coming from your birthday via nature. That's all I do. I ain't got nothing to do with what it was said. I'm just a translator of the information to you so that you'll know how to get your life back into balance. Now, the thing is that everybody's been asking me, you said that how you just going to be telling folks to, all got to do is change their mind and all they got to do is do this and do that and it's going to get their healing. It's always been that. It's always been that. It ain't your man. Why you think there's so many studies of placebo? The reason why there's so many studies around placebo, because it's always been your goddamn mind. Ain't nobody giving y'all nothing. Look, even when we was in jail, they were giving folks placebo. If you came in there with ADD and ADHD, they ain't really gonna give you no Adderall in goddamn jail and prison. They would give them the sugar pills. And them cuz don't act like they took their medicine. And all you eating on is a sugar pill, which is a placebo. So the bottom line is there's so much research around the placebo effect that we understand that the mind is the fundamental playground around can I heal myself or not. It ain't got nothing to do with meds. It ain't got nothing to do with prescriptions. It ain't got nothing to do with herbs. It got something to do with the mind. Okay, so now, in understanding the mind, if you're really trying to understand why the owner's manual is the best health assessment on the planet right now, is because, again, we use the longest information that you have. Your hair is a 90-day. So if I took your hair sample, it would give me 90 days of information. If I took your blood, it would be 24 hours. If I did some urine or some saliva or some stool, it may last a little week or so, for a couple of days or so. But at the end of the day, that's all I get. But if you give me your birthday, I get a lifetime of information. Just off your birthday will give me tendencies and you tendencies so that you can know thyself a little better, which is what this is all about. Now, speaking of the mind, then we must understand that all chemical reactions in the blood, meaning that anything that changes your bloodstream, anything that puts something in your bloodstream or takes something out, meaning changing the chemistry of your blood, first starts from the brain. Okay, who controls the pH balance and the waters of your body is not your gut, It ain't your this and it ain't your that. It is your mind creating chemical reactions way before you do a thing. It's what gets you to do a thing. And we're overlooking this small but very large defect or effect that we can have in doing this. So therefore, if the mind is creating the chemical reactions just for me to get up in the morning, just for me to go get a shower, just for me to talk to my old lady, just for me to feel a way about a thing and express myself in that way. Remember, everything starts inward first, right? It ain't until you do an act or until you do that action that we know your thoughts. So until then, we don't know what the hell you're thinking until you do something. If you want to touch me, then I know you thinking about sex. I wouldn't know it no otherwise. So at the end of the day, that understanding is needed to be recognized. So therefore, if thought creates feelings and feelings are creating the actions, then it's at this feeling point that we're creating the chemical reactions to react to or respond to the environmental stimuli. This is going to be recorded on YouTube, you guys. If y'all missed this, go to YouTube and you'll learn it, okay? But I'm going to speak it and teach it how it TI is, all right? So please go tell somebody to go tell somebody. You guys keep tapping while I keep talking, okay? So with that being said, this is where the medicines come in, okay? So peace, okay? When we're trying to get you to get to this peace, you must understand that this is not just a biological peace. I mean, this is not just a outside in your regular life peace, but this is biological. So you got to get peace within and peace outside of your life. You got to get peace internally and peace externally in your life. And so this whole medicine of peace, right? You must understand that peace is the medicine. The medicine of peace is that peace is the medicine. And so when you're looking at this peace, then you must understand that you're creating medicines of peace and you're creating medicines of war. Now you want to say, well, what is my medicines of peace? Serotonin, right? Serotonin. Okay. What is my medicines of peace? GABA. Okay. Anybody know what GABA is, right? It's going to be your gamma, okay, aminobutyric acid. Gamma aminobutyric acid. Okay. Serotonin. Oxytocin. What else we got? The endorphins. Along with some of them, all of these kind of create the peace within. That's what makes you happy. That's what's making you fall in love. That's what's making you bond. You got to understand what I'm trying to teach you. You have mind in you that's creating chemical reactions that's making you express and move through life. Okay? So forget all the hoopla about herbs and medication. We're talking about what you got in you. And we're using the same thing that makes you bond, that makes you laugh, that makes you fall in love, that makes you keep calm, that makes you do all those things. Those things are medicines. That's why they produce life. When you're in this state, you have a baby, you're producing the life, right? So therefore, it's in this state is where the life producing the life things are. Now, here's the thing. You got some life-saving stuff on the other side, okay, of the medicine of war. The medicine of war is necessary. The medicine of war is necessary, but only for acute moments. It's never supposed to be utilized chronically, or those medicines turn into poisons, right? And so we're going to tell y'all about the medicines of war too. So these are your medicines of peace. And what we do is once we get you to kind of understand your tendencies from nature, once we get you to understand you're from God and God knows your name, once you understand that life ain't as difficult as it may seem, once you start to tap into your giftings, once we get you to value yourself over anything else, once you get that mindset and that openness that you're ready for this thing, then guess what? Now here comes the peace and the calmness and the sereneness. And here comes the love and the bonding and the joy. Now here comes all of these things that you are using to create the medicine. So we got to make you feel good even at your time of need. So therefore, a sickness is a war on you you need peace. Polarity is the recipe. Therefore, financial issues is a war on you, and you need peace. You can come to the HerbMan. Therefore, if loneliness is becoming a war to you, then we can find peace within. And so, therefore, when anything is a force of resistance to you, you may call that the war. And so when that happens, your medicines of war come in when you got to fight or flight. Your medicines of war come in when you are stressed. Your medicines of war is stress. You got medicines of peace and you got medicines of stress. You got medicines of peace, you got medicines of war. But you need those things for acute situations to get away or to go and do things. But here is the fallibility. Here is the problem, my brothers and sisters, is that when you get into a stressful situation, when you're chronically under this particular dynamic, you lose all focus on logic and reason. You understand me? When you get anxiety and when you get all flustered and when you get overly stimulated sympathetically, don't you know that when it's time to run and stuff, your logic and reason ain't always there. That's why sometimes you can run yourself into a ditch. Sometimes you can run yourself right into the enemy. Sometimes you can run yourself right into a situation. You want to know why? It's because as long as I keep you stressed and under oppression and depressed, stop calling me when you see me on the live. Wait until after the live to call me, all right? But as long as you see yourself chronically stressed and depressed, you're always producing medicines of war. Now, here we go. Now, medicines of war are now going to start attacking you. Those medicines of war can now start turning into medicines to poisons. Okay? And these medicines of war, if these are the peace, then the war, again, these are necessary. Okay, these are necessary. This is not something you can throw away. That's why I keep trying to teach you guys about your health and teach you guys about your body. You can't throw the body away. This is not the bad part of you. This is just the part of you that needs to be managed. This is not something you can throw away. So cortisol, adrenaline, you got your norepinephrine, you got your epinephrine, you got your insulin. There's so many different things, you guys. I'll show you guys some pictograms in a minute because I know y'all like to see pictures. So we do have some receipts to show you. But what we're trying to show you is that they are necessary, because there are going to be times to where the best thing to do is to get away from a situation. There's going to be times where attention and anxiety and instinct and all of that stuff needs to kick in order for you to understand what you're dealing with. That's fine, but you can't stay there all the time. And the human life have so many different stressors, whether it be your bills, whether it be school, whether it be this and that. It's just so many shit that you want to do in this life that's stressing you. All your wants, needs, and desires are becoming expectations, and these expectations are starting to wear and tear on the fabric of the human being. And so what happens is you got expectations. So you went in one relationship and you said, well, I want a relationship like this or like that, and then you go into a new relationship already with those expectations. And again, like I spoke to the people early this morning about 5 o'clock when I was on the live, I was telling people that the brother mentioned that your discernment and your intuition is a lot like being in a dark room. You know your house so well, start walking through it blind. Okay, you done seen that house so many times that even if the lights weren't on, you'll know how to get to them keys. You'll know how to get to the bedroom. You'll know how to get to that kitchen. I promise you. And the thing is that that's a lot like what tomorrow is, right? And so if you're looking at tomorrow, you can't go in tomorrow with expectations. Tomorrow is the dark room. Tomorrow is the dark age. Don't go in there with yesterday's expectations on tomorrow. Allow tomorrow to be the new baby that it is. Allow your tomorrow to be the new baby that it is. Stop trying to judge me by the labels of what you think a good man is, what you think a good woman is, what you think a good relationship is. Motherfucker, start just looking at what I got good in me and then start looking at what you can get from that, okay? Otherwise, then you might as well move on. So at the end of the day, what I'm saying is stop looking at your expectations and just start looking at the reality of what the person brings in and see can you benefit from that. And that's when you're not judging your tomorrow from yesterday's shit. You don't know what you want. You just got to understand what life is giving you. When you start to talk about what you want, you start to push away what life sends you. And so your discernment better be on cue when you talking about what you want. When you trying to do your will, your shit better be on cue. Otherwise, you need to understand how to float in the boat. You need to understand how to flow with the nature. You need to understand how to flow with the waves. Because see, if I'm just looking at you, you better be a disciplined, determined motherfucker. Otherwise, you need to be very spiritually sensitive. One or the other. Either you got your shit together to make it, or you got your spirit together to make it. But I need to know one of those two things. And so that's all I'm looking at. I ain't trying to expect you to be like this or be like that. I don't need another Kobe, LeBron. I don't want you to be nothing but yourself. So what I do is I say, okay, well, cool. I'll accept your today because it's just for today. Hopefully it don't be your tomorrow. So therefore I wake up every day looking at tomorrow like a new day. Not judging you from yesterday. A lot of you guys hold grudges, you're unforgiving, and you think you're good because you don't smoke. You think you're good because you don't drink. You think you're good because you don't do this and don't do that. But when you really look at you, you ain't as good as you think you is. Everybody needs to work, and they need to understand that the expectations is what's getting you fucked up. Lose your expectations and start to flow with what that day is giving you. Don't treat today like yesterday, and dare not go into tomorrow with today's dust on your feet. And that's what that scripture means when it said knock the dust off your feet. It's telling you that, hey, look, don't worry if yesterday ain't gonna do it for you. Don't worry about it. Knock the dust off your feet and welcome tomorrow in. If this person ain't right for you, the next one will be. If this job ain't right for you, the next one will be. The same God that gave you this job will give you another one. So fuck it. I'll quit it if it's gonna kill me. The same God that gave you this woman, God will give you another woman. So fuck it. It's for she killed me. The same God that gave you this thing and that thing is the same God that will give you to you again. There's no attachments. You're too attached to your expectations. And that's why you're going through the bullshit you're going through, woman and man. You're too attached to your expectations. And that's why everything seems wrong. You are too attached to your expectations because you're taking in yesterday's little analogy of shit and you're trying to bring it into today. Don't nobody do it like that. I'm a Gemini, bitch. I roll and I flow with the wind. I'll change tomorrow. Whatever needs to be done, I'll chameleon out on your motherfucking ass. Why? Because I go with the season. If they say it's cold today, you got to wear a coat. I can't keep coming out in those shorts on no cold day. I got to change with the season. I got to change with the pattern. You can't just, I expected for it to be hot today. Okay, they said it was cold though. Yeah, but I expected for it to be. And so out of your expectation, you just gonna walk out here in some shorts and free to them. Take your ass in there and change them clothes. Change your mind. Change your perspective. Change the way you're looking at things. I've grown old enough in this thing. I'm experienced. I know that it's better to flow, not to have rules and regulation because ain't nobody gonna fit in them. Yeah, you're gonna fuck around here and be single all your life. Now, ain't nobody gonna fit in your expectations. So therefore, you flow. And then you say to yourself, what good am I getting from this reality? And then, okay, well, then that's what I need. That's what I'll take from it, right? And then you do what you got to do. And if you finish with that, you move on. But the bottom line is when we get into these situations because of the expectation, it's creating the war. It's creating the toxicity. It's creating you being on cortisol and adrenaline and insulin far too long. And so then when you get on insulin too long, they call that hyperinsulinemia. Ain't nobody even never told you that, right? Before you even get diabetes, you got hyperinsulinemia. Before you get diabetic 1, diabetic 2, you got hyperinsulinemia. Hyperinsulinemia, it says just what it is when you got an overactive insulin. Why? Because you're doing too much shit. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people say, well, how can I get this stuff in? You ain't got to take no herbs and no medication for these. Keep tapping, you guys. I'll keep talking. Keep tapping. I'll keep talking. You ain't got to take medication for these. Just a little walk in nature, a nature walk, will produce serotonin. Just a little nature walk will produce serotonin. Okay, GABA, right? that gamma amino butyric acid. Okay, that GABA can be produced through meditation. You ain't gotta take no herbs and you ain't gotta take no medication. You gotta do it. Okay, you already know what the oxytocin can be produced, right? Community bonding. So this ain't got to be necessarily about if you 70, 80 years old and I need to get you off your deathbed. They ain't trying to tell you to go get no man to produce. We ain't got to have no man to produce this. You ain't got to have no woman to produce oxytocin. Oh, you said it was the love and you said the bonding. Yes, community service. Anytime that you bond with people in the community is going to do the same thing. If you do acts of service, acts of kindness, which we do in community service. So community service gives you an ability to not only do the acts of service and the acts of kindness, but it also gives you ability to bond, right? So you ain't sitting on the internet giving to the Cancer Society. We need you out and about. So therefore, I'm going to use community service. So I don't want you thinking you can get this on your couch, okay? So you're going to be able to get this community service out and about, meeting and greeting. People are touching you. You're touching people. You're helping people. You're doing that. That's going to produce oxytocin, whether you got a man or not, whether you got a woman, okay? Right? And then these endorphins. How do I produce endorphins? Because endorphins, remember that these are your painkillers, your natural painkillers. How can I produce endorphins? Quite naturally through what? Exercise. Okay? Through the muscles. So I can exercise, I can laugh, I can sing, I can dance. And exercise, laugh, sing, and dance all produce endorphins. I'm not telling y'all something that you should not know. I'm giving it to you the best way I can, the most simplest way I can, you guys. If you guys are interested in your owner's manual, please allow us to know. We'll give you all the information that you need. Just DM me, okay? But all of these nature-based interventions, all this exercise and walk, you get all of that in your owner's manual, okay? So now when you get your owner's manual, it's starting to show you these nature-based interventions. So it may say, yeah, get more sunlight, get more quality air, get more natural spring water. It may say that you need to do more meditations and these, that, and the third when you get yours based on your birthday. So you get all of this with your birthday. The bottom line is people think that it's crazy to try to figure out how to produce this. It's not. A nature walk, meditation, community service, and laughter, singing, dancing, exercise, whatever you want to do to produce them endorphins. So that means that my painkiller, my natural painkiller, I can kill pain in me biologically and in my life by laughing, singing, and dancing it away. Y'all don't understand what I'm trying to get you to see. Oxytocin is basically a oxytocin. They use these letters, but you got to see it. Oxytocin is oxytocin. Oxytocin is oxytocin. Okay, so this is a toxin that can come into the body and help with immunity boosting. It can help you, like I said, you got anti-inflammatory, you got immunity boosting right here, you got brain and nerve rebuilding with the GABA, you got the serotonin coming in to help the gut and all this type of stuff. 90% of your serotonin is produced in your gut. So that means that this gut feeling, right? This gut feeling that we're trying to get you to do with this peace and war, you have to produce more of it. These are your medicines of peace. I ain't talking about your medicine. Not only will you have a peaceful life, but this is also the medicines of peace biologically within your cell life. When you can have a peaceful life, you live longer. Any questions thus far? Because I know y'all gonna say, well, I got this job and I got this, and how can I get the peace? Well, go ahead and ask me. If you guys got questions, you keep tapping, I'll keep talking. You guys got questions, please put it into the chat. All right. This is being recorded on YouTube and TikTok. You guys, if you miss it, go there and get this information. All right. The medicine of peace and the medicine of war. So when we're giving you your owner's manual, we want you to lie down and really look at how we come into this peaceful state. Okay. How do we come into this peaceful state? Right? How do we come into this peaceful state? How do I get the peace? How do I get the peace? How do I get the peace? How do I get a peace? You just need to create a timeless moment. A moment in your life where you don't need to do anything but just be. You're not thinking about bills, kids, spouse, food, water. There's nothing that you need to do but just focus on you. And in this moment of peace and clarity, this is when you're producing these things. So it's not like you got to do a whole lot. The doing is not doing. Now you say, well, yeah, my grandma can't move and my mama and them can't really do nothing. So is that really helping them? It all depends on what mindset they're in. If you just laying around, but you don't have this mindset, then that laying around ain't healthy. If you're laying around with a purpose and an intent on creating something in the lay down, then okay, lay down. But if you just laying down without creating anything from the lay down, then you just laying down. Then obviously that's not going to be healthy. So we're looking at doing something different. If you're laying around and you don't have the power, you're paralyzed, you're old, you're feeble, you're young, you can't move, whatever the case, cerebral palsy, whatever you're dealing with in your body, okay, that's fine. All we need is the mind. And when the mind goes, it ain't nothing that we can do for self-healing. But at the end of the day, for self-healing, if you can focus and concentrate just on a moment where there's no want, need, and desire. Anybody can do that where there's no want, need, or desire. Can anybody find peace that way? Where there's no want, need, or desire? Can you get a moment, a clear moment where you're not thinking of the next 5 seconds, you're not thinking ahead of time, or you're not thinking in the past, but can you get a moment where there is no want, need, or desire? Can you create a moment where there's no want, need, and desire? That means that even when you're sick, you don't need nothing. That means even when you're broke, they don't need. But the thing is, but can you solidly find this peace in life? Otherwise, you have no look. We're trying to defeat death, not disease, you guys. I don't chase disease. We're chasing the death consciousness. Okay. Everlasting life is what I got told, and I'll be goddamned if I fall short for a disease. Everlasting life is what y'all told me, and I've heard it in Buddha. I've heard it in Muhammad. I've heard it in Jesus. I've heard it in Krishna. I've heard it in Mithra. I've heard it in all of your texts. And now we're desiring to understand if that's a true fact or not. Can we live forever? And if so, what does that look like? And under my investigation thus far, only 46 years old, only been doing this for a 10 plus years. Very, very minor years, according to other folk. But at the end of the day, I'm not chasing disease. I'm not trying to be your herbalist. I'm not trying to sell herbs. I'm trying to heal my people. And we have to investigate, and that's the real truth. Can you extend the life of the flesh? And my first answer to you is yes. But you can't extend the life of the flesh through fleshly things. You can only extend the life of the flesh through the spiritual things. So that means that your mind must be at an all-time high in order for you to take the oxidative stress, in order for you to take the stress hormones, in order for you to take just the daily life stress away from the body. You must be better with your mind. That means the less mistakes you make, the less accidents that you get into, the less you allow life to be incidental, right? Because right now you can just go down the street right now and get in a car accident because you don't have no discernment or intuition that says sit your ass at home. Right now you can go to the mall and get shot up by somebody because you don't have no discernment good enough to know when danger's lurking, when the sickness is coming. If you knew when the sickness was coming, all y'all alcoholics would stop drinking. But you don't know when the liver gonna fuck up because it's inside in the dark. You don't know when the kidney is going because it's inside in the dark. You don't know when the die because it's inside in the dark. But you got to start flashing the light on the inside of you in order to learn you better, so that you can stop before you get the problem. Discernment, right? And so what we're trying to do is get you into this and channel you into this so that you can use tomorrow like that dark room. And if you, okay, so I know about today, because I've been living in today long enough that if the lights go out, I know how to sit down in here. I know where they're bored at. If the lights go out now, I know where they're bored and I'm looking at y'all. But what I'm saying is that's tomorrow. Tomorrow is going into a dark room with no expectation. So you're feeling around tomorrow. When you don't do it that way, then you go into it intellectually, then you think your way through tomorrow. And that's what's happening. So you're not using discernment. You got to feel. Feeling is discernment, how it makes you feel. When the hair come up on you, stand up, oh girl, that thing made the hair come up on my neck. It gave you a feeling. Oh, he made my flesh crawl. Gave me a feeling. Oh, girl, I can't look at no snake. Gave me a feeling. Again, you watch this show, next thing you know, you rose up. Something gave you a feeling. The feeling is what we're trying to get you to do, but you keep going into this stuff with the thought. I don't need you to think. I need you to feel. You have to feel this peace. You can't think you got peace. You got to feel it. Y'all get it? Do y'all get it? I need you to feel this peace. You can't think it. It won't work like that. That's why a lot of you guys, it's not working for you, because you think you can read your owner's manual and think your way through this shit. It won't happen to the otherwise you just gave me $50. Okay? A lot of you guys are going to church trying to think your way through religion. A lot of you guys are going to work. See, that's what I'm saying. You can't do this like that. When you're talking about God, God is a spirit that can't be intellectualized. That means that you can't articulate it, but I can show you God. I can show you God, but I can't tell you about it. Telling you about it is debatable, but showing you is a demonstration of the spirit. So then, therefore, that's more definitive. That's why Jesus had to do signs, miracles, and wonders. Why? Because just because I can talk to these motherfuckers all day, they ain't gonna believe shit. But if I can sign or a wonder or a miracle, will change your mind. So therefore, the feelings, nothing more than feeling. So you got to get the feeling. So that means that I got to get you to feel this. You cannot watch this TikTok, go watch this YouTube and think that I'm going to buy an owner's manual and he going to tell me about my spiritual tendency. He going to give me my herbs. He said he's going to give me my foods. He said he's going to give me all the stuff that I need. Yes, and you will get that. But if you're trying to think your way through this, you still miss the point. This is a spiritual thing that's trying to help you cure yourself. You cannot do it physically through the body and the mind. Otherwise, everybody would have done it already, and this shit would already be out, and it would already be doing it. But you can't do it that way. You have to heal thyself through the mind, which means I got to get you to know thyself a little bit so that we can circumvent these tendencies that tend to imprison the mind, that stops the mind from creating the dynamic. Okay? I got to get rid of the war that's happening within to create the peace. We got to get peace within you. How many people want peace? Put some ones in the chat if you're looking for peace. Put the ones in the chat if you need to, if you're looking for peace. All right? Put some ones in the chat if you're looking for peace. This bright early morning. Put some ones in the chat if you're looking for peace, right? And so now we got to figure out, how can I wake up every day? Now, here's the thing, my people. How can you wake up every day and go to a job that you really don't want to do and think that you're going to be peaceful? Okay? Anybody know the answer to that? How can you be in a relationship that you really feel like you don't want to be in and think that you're going to be able to find peace with that? How can you feel like that you're in a situation that you really don't want to be in and think that that's going to, so you can't create the peace? Not because of the situation, it's because of you. Broke doesn't make you create the war. It's the programming of what broke is. You think you don't have nothing because of the way you've been engineered to think about money being the thing that is creating the abundance, but it ain't. So how I'm going to get you to see the peace is I got to get you to be able to see God in the reality. Remember that I told you we flip the images in our brain. When have you ever seen this shit in reality? On your deathbed, you need to see it in reality. In your loneliness, you need to see the reality of you. In your sickness, you need to see the reality of you. I ain't going to be mad when somebody tell me I smoke and drink too much. Shit, I did that since I was 13. So I ain't finna sit up here and act all surprised. Hell is you talking about? I know me. I know my tendency. I ain't finna be acting out. Oh, smoking did that to you. Yeah, motherfucker, you been smoking longer than me since you're 13. It'll do something to you. And I got folks that been smoking longer than me. If you've been drinking, I've been drinking the same long as 13. Smoking, I've been drinking since 13. We had a little piece of note that we can go get Bill from the store from my mama. I folk mama. Here you talking about? A pack of cigarette was on the note and a 6-pack of bill. She don't forgot she wrote us one. We kept one of them notes. So that's how long I've been able to get it. Legitimately, without stealing. Had the mama's note. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Okay? So, yes, the body gonna run down. Yes, you're gonna be able to understand. But it ain't no surprise because I know my tendencies. A lot of people don't know their tendency. They like to point fingers at you, but they don't see the shit that they do. I don't go around pointing fingers at folk like that. My stuff obvious. Your shit in private, but it don't mean that you ain't got nothing. Let's fix it. Okay? Let's fix it. And how we fix it is by knowing thyself. Then when you know thyself and you got money over here playing the God, but you know better and you know that the abundance is in earth, not money. Okay? So then we make you at peace with what the situation is because your abundance is in earth. You don't need money because food grows on trees. Money might not grow on trees, but food grows on trees. So the earth is creating the abundance to where you can X out this God. Okay? So then the earth says, well, if you don't need money and you just got me, then I'll teach you how to build because I got the wood. So you don't need no money. I'll teach you how to eat because I got the food. You don't need no grocery store. I'll teach you how to, you see where I'm going with this? If you choose this, your peace is over here. Your war is over here. I can't try to get you to save your life to continue to fight the war. And that's what y'all don't realize. And that's why I'm telling you I don't chase disease, I chase death consciousness. There's no reason to keep you alive for what? If you just want this again. Don't y'all get it? There's no reason to keep you alive if this is what you want. This is you still want this. You want to stay living to get this. You want to stay living for the engineering. You want to stay living for the stress. You want me to keep you alive for one more day so you can stress the hell out about life. And that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's nothing I can do about that. You can't get kept alive if you're not going to change your paradigm. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Transform means change. Renew means change. Be ye changed by changing your mind. So if you are not willing to let go and surrender this over here, then there's no reason to keep you alive. Not just even for me. I'm telling you that this is why we leave, because you just want to stay for more stress. That's why folks say, I don't want to hurt no more. I'm ready to go. I don't want to hurt no more. I'm ready to go. Lord, you're going. You know why? Because one more day is this until you find here. What I'm saying is don't choose peace. Excuse me. Don't choose earth and peace in death. You can choose this while you yet live. And that's a heavenly consciousness. That's not a death consciousness. That's an everlasting life consciousness. That's when you're able to extend your life when you see the abundance in the earth. Therefore, you don't get to worry no more. Everything gonna be all right. Earth is supplying everything. You don't have to do it. You don't have to supply your every need because earth has. But you got to be resourceful. I gave you you the one got to build the boat, but you can't build no boat without no tree. And on top of that, not only did I give you the tree, but I also gave you the aptitude to build the boat. I gave you everything you need, all the tools. What else would you need me for? I gave you the fruit. I gave you the vegetables. This is what earth is saying. Why are you stressing? Why am I having creations coming in that are not animalistic? The animals know this, but the humans don't. Without weapons, the animals will run shit. Without humans having the aptitude to build a weapon, this will be an animal kingdom. The only reason why animals ain't on your ass is because you got that weapon, because you got the aptitude. So you're the only one out of animals and angels that have an ability to go against the grain. The angels got to be obedient, and the animals got to be obedient to their basic instinct. But humans are the only ones out of animals and terrestrial beings that can have a choice. Now, that choice is, can you figure this out before your flesh time in? If you can figure this out before your flesh time in, then you can extend your time. But only extension is only given to the Most High. Its extension is only, you understand? That's why Jesus got extended. That's why Enoch got extended. That's why Elijah got extended. What the fuck is we extending you for? You have to be in your highest consciousness. You got to be in that point to be extended. Or death is imminent. The reason why we die is because we don't know the science. Healing through spirit and science. Science gonna get you half of the way. Spirit got to get you the other half. Intellect gonna get you half of life. Intuition got to get you the other half. You're gonna burn the body out. So these cortisols and these adrenalines, they good for a short stint, but over time, chronically, they burn you out, creating inflammation and all this type of stuff. And that ain't what you're trying to produce in your body. So as long as you're in this war state about everything, you're warring with your old lady, warring with yourself, warring with your man, warring with your children, warring with your job, warring with your family members, warring with your community. When you're at odds at every motherfucking level on this thing, then it's creating these acidic, toxic, chronic stress hormones that are burning you out. Wearing and tearing on the car. You can't live everlasting under stress, and you can't be in heaven under stress. And so you mean to tell me that death is when you don't stress no more, and death is when I'm going to realize heaven too? No, heaven is a man-made construct that men have created. So therefore, the only way you're going to see it as heaven is you got to be in your five senses. So you got to be able to taste heaven. You got to be able to touch heaven. Just like Doubting Tom, you got to be able to see heaven. You got to be able to feel heaven. You got to be able to do these things. So what I'm trying to tell you is, why the fuck you going to wait to death to do that when you're supposed to be experiencing heaven on earth? And it's all about a changing of the mind. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. I'm living this way because I renewed my mind in a lot of places. I still got to work on some other things, and that's fine. I love work, and I love being a work in progress. I never want to be finished working on me, because I don't never want to be done and feel like I'm a done thing. And at the end of the day, I want something to work for. I like to wake up every morning with something to do. And so if I got issues, I appreciate it because they give me an opportunity. My suffering gives me an opportunity for transformation. It's my suffering that gives me an opportunity for transformation. Some of you guys think you're too good to be true. You want somebody to believe in the goodness and this, that, and the third, but deep down inside, you're wrong, you're rotten, and you don't even understand. So at the end of the day, don't be fooled because the fool can show you his shit, and don't be fooled by the pretty woman that can't show you, because sometimes the pretty woman that don't show you will be the one that'll kill you the most, and sometimes the fool waving the gun ain't gonna do nothing at all because he's showing his hand. So you must be some of y'all think I'm playing with y'all. Some of y'all think y'all too good to be going through what you're going through, and there's no such thing. You ain't too good and you ain't too bad for God to heal you and bless you. You ain't too good and you ain't too bad. Okay? But what you do have to understand is that you can't keep going into tomorrow already with this expectation, because you don't give tomorrow an opportunity. You don't give God, you don't give future, you don't give that tomorrow opportunity to surprise you. You went into tomorrow. You finna go into Thursday knowing that you ain't got no job because you ain't got one today. And guess what? You fuck up the surprise of what Thursday gonna get you, and yeah, you ain't gonna get shit. You finna go into Thursday still with your dialysis. You know what? I know he can't do it overnight. So, I ain't even gonna sit here and just think it could be done overnight. So I know I'm gonna still have it. It just is what it is, girl. It's a process. And so you done sat here and did all your tomorrows with dialysis in it. And you don't understand that the mind is creating chemical reactions that are keeping you sick, keeping sickle cell, keeping the dialysis because you're keeping it. You got it. Dialysis ain't got you. You got to hold on it. You got blood pressure. Blood pressure ain't got you. Ain't nobody ever told you that blood pressure got you. Your doctor says you have blood pressure because you got it. Let it go. Ain't no doctors ever told you that cancer got you. They always say you got cancer. So let it go. I don't want no motherfucking cancer. Let it go. And how you let this life go, how you let your expectations go, woman, how you let your expectations go, man, is just surrender and flow with tomorrow like you don't know what the fuck gonna happen tomorrow. No, you may not be sick tomorrow. I may get healed tomorrow. And you keep saying that every day, and next thing you know, it's gonna come true, just like the other ones was coming true. You said you were sick every day, you stayed sick. You say you healed every day, your ass to get healed. This ain't rocket science, but you want me to sell you a herb. You want me to come on this TikTok and these social media and try to sell you a motherfucking product and all you got, I got all these herbs, try to sell you my information and knowledge and all that. Man, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that, dog. Look here, man, I'm trying to teach you how to fish. I don't want you to have me sitting up in no fish restaurant all my life trying to sell you my little two-piece fish because it's good and don't nobody know my recipe. I'm not trying to monopolize like that, baby. We're going to educate you. I'm an education center. I'm not a restaurant. I ain't no herb shop. I'm not no herb store. It's herbal education. We're not selling nothing but education around this motherfucker. So the owner's manual for your funky measly $50 is what you get, and all this information that I'm preaching and teaching to you, you get in your owner's manual. If you guys are interested, DM me and we'll get you that. But we're not opening up restaurants and all that. No, we're opening up education centers, schools to teach people how to go fishing. Okay, that's what we're doing. That's how we're doing it, and that's what we're doing, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. So what I'm trying to get you to understand is I'm biologically showing you that you produce shit when you think. All we got to do now is get you to produce the medicine. The medicine is this other stuff. If you can have peace with life in the time of need, like Job, you get extension, you get addition. And that's what y'all looking for? Well, why isn't it that you can't see that in these stories? Why isn't it there ain't nobody teaching you this? Everybody wants you to pay for astrology instead of what the fuck I need to know about it. Nigga, fuck astrology. All I want to know about is how to live forever if it can help me do that. Or how can I get the herb? That's what I don't give a damn about no love and money. So why would you use nature to tell somebody about unnatural things? So we want to be able to use this for natural things. Ain't no need in me telling you about no love life and no money, and you ain't thinking right, you won't get it. If you ain't balancing yourself, you're always going to be open for mistakes, accidents, and incidents, including missing the right man, missing the right money opportunities, etc., etc. These are going to be over and over your mistakes, accidents, and incidents. You either going to accidentally stumble upon your money, accidentally stumble upon your man, you're going to accidentally lose them, you're going to accidentally lose your company, you're going to it all accident based. We don't want accidents, incidents, and mistake life. I want intentional, goddamn it. I come in this bitch and I want to be intentional. I don't want no accidents and no mistakes. I want all intention. Anytime that you want to intercourse with me, it needs to be intentional. Any kind that you want to work with me as a community brother and sister, it needs to be intentional. And I don't know incidental, and mistake-free life. And that's a heavenly conscience, not a death conscience. Keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Yes, sir. I ain't playing with y'all today, man. Keep tapping. I'll keep talking, you guys. The medicines of peace. It has to be biological as well as psychological. And when you're riding on this life path, when you're rolling down this yellow brick road, we need to find out where your peace is at. When you're riding and you're traveling in this road of life, we need to know where your peace is at. Where is your peace? You can't have peace because of the expectations and the engineering. You think your peace will come if you make a lot of money. And that's not true. You think your peace will come if you be a mother. That's not true. You think your peace will come if you be an entrepreneur. It ain't in those titles. The peace is not in those titles. Mother is a title. Father is a title. Co-worker is a title. Business owner is a title. Manager, CEO, president, they're all titles. This ain't going to give you no peace. Rich is a title. But when you understand that the real ultimate title is a man and a woman, and you're trying to be a mechanic way before you know how to be a man. You're focused on being a computer programmer way before you learned how to be a woman. You want to be a mother way before you learned how to be a woman. And you stepped out here and became a father way before you knew how to be a man. And you're working on these jobs that gave you the title, that give you the relevancy, that gives you the value, because you can't find it in thyself. And that's the wrong place to be. And when we can show you how to get into a peaceful state, we can show you how to transform your suffering into transformation of your situation. Period, point blank, bottom line, ain't nowhere else around it. Any questions you got before I get up out of here? Any questions? Thank you guys for the tapping. Thank you guys for the tapping. We got about an hour to go. That's if I make it, because I'm about finished. Any questions thus far about how to produce these medicines of peace? How do I produce the medicine of peace? If anybody just coming to the channel, I'm not talking about stopping the violence. I'm not talking about stopping the wars. That ain't the peace I'm talking about. I'm talking about the peace within and without the individual person. I'm talking about how to heal thyself. And what you need to understand is that peace is not necessarily just a psychological phenomenon or a life phenomenon. It is a biological phenomenon as well. And if we can get you to have peace, get at ease. Remember that the cure for dis-ease is at ease. Well, at ease is peace. Being at ease is being at peace. So when I get some at ease about life, if I get some at ease about the disease, if I get some at ease about the finances, if I can get some at ease about the loneliness, if I can get some at ease, then not only will you have peace in your external life, you'll be able to create the peace internally. And that's the owner's man. That's the owner's man. Okay. Yes. Any questions? Any concerns? If you're dealing with mental health issues, if you're dealing with physical health issues, if you're dealing with spiritual health issues, if you're dealing with mental health issues, you can come here. Okay? You can come here. At peace, grounding, standing in the grass too. That's what's happening. Timeless moment. Okay? Sugar shed. A sugi shed. Timeless moment, right? Creating a timeless moment. Right now, it may be only you can do 30 seconds before your concentration break. Then the next one you'll do a minute. Then the next one you can carve out 5 minutes. Then the next time you can carve out maybe 30 minutes. Then the next one you can carve out maybe an hour. But you're starting to put together these timeless moments where you don't want, need, or desire anything. The brain ain't thinking forward or back. And it ain't even worried about the present. It's at peace. The brain has to be at peace to where you're not worried or anxious or anxiety or anything like that. Okay? You have to be at peace. When are you answering your phone? Well, answer because she's calling mine. You call up. Okay? So you must understand that, right? So this at ease is going to be intentional. We're going to intentionally create this at ease. Intentionally create the at ease. All right? timeless moment. We're grateful to be here. Well, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. Yes, 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 yes. Anybody else? Y'all got 90 people on here. Why y'all scared to talk? Huh? 90 people on the show. You scared to talk? All y'all want to do is come on here and listen and look at me. Hey, look, I appreciate it, but we want to get folk that can go beyond. All right. I ain't your everyday TV show. Once you got what you need, you can move on and open up a slot for somebody new. Okay. Once you get what you need, move on, open up a slot for somebody new. How does one deal alone? Advise on dealing with women. How does one deal alone? Advice on dealing with women. Rufus, the only advice I can give you is don't date unless you're in a situation to where you're able to find the opposite of you, but in the same level you at, right? So it's opposition at the same level. So you can't be knowing all this information, Rufus, and then try to go down to the lower self dating pool. So a lot of you guys are trying to be higher self, but you don't got nobody to date up there. So then you got to bring your ass down the mountain to go date. Okay. Don't try to find your spouse in lower self-consciousness or in the hellacious consciousness, because it ain't gonna never work, right? So you got to be careful about that. Yeah, totally. Yeah. So totally. Yeah. So so you must understand that, right? So it ain't about nobody being difficult, because women are difficult, men are difficult. It's about the level. A lot of us are down here in hell wanting somebody in their most high state. You're not ready for that. And then a lot of us are in our most high state, but we ain't got nobody to date, so we got to go down here back to hell to date. So you got folks in hell wanting somebody in the most high state. You got people from the most high state ain't got nobody to date. They got to go down in the hell to do it. And that is the difficulty of the dating. Well, here's the thing. I tell everybody this from my life, and this is real talk. This is real talk. I'm gonna sit down. You guys keep tapping. I'll keep talking. I'm gonna sit down and rap with y'all for a minute. Okay, if you guys got questions, if you wanna come on the chat, just put me in the chat. We'll bring you guys up. I'm gonna talk to y'all for a minute though. There was a moment in time in my life where I realized a few years back that a lot of the women that I drug in life, right? You know, y'all know what drug mean. When you drag somebody, it is because I wasn't who I am now. If I had waited until I found purpose, which is this, if I had waited until I found purpose, nobody would have ever got fucked up or fucked over. So sometimes we're getting married and we're getting into situations before you find your purpose. And when you make a woman your purpose, or you make a man your purpose before you find your purpose, then that's the expectation. That's the social engineering. So now you come in and you need me to be something. No, you should need yourself to be something. You should have already figured out the gears in your truck, because the woman is not your doctor. The woman is not your pastor. The woman is not your lawyer, and the woman is not your therapist. So coming to a perfect stranger and trying to create family with that person, and that person is not well equipped to deal with your issues, those things, then now you really put a lot of onus on the relationship. Everybody's coming in sick, and nobody's equipped to be a doctor. So that's the valuability of relationship, and that's man and woman. Everybody's coming in with sickness, and nobody's qualified to be the doctor. So therefore, the only time you can do, and that's why this owner's manual was so important, because it only fixates on the person. You can't use your owner's manual to heal your children. You can't use your owner's manual to heal your husband. You got to use your owner's manual for you. It's individualized, personalized, customized reading for the person who was born that day, which is you. And so it don't give you the ability to try to go and teach and go do all this shit. If you got to heal yourself to know that that's possible, and that's all you need to tell somebody. Don't try to tell people to do it the way you did it. Just tell people that it could be done. That's all we need for y'all to do. We don't need for you to try to learn herbs and everybody try to, well, I took red raspberry, so everybody take red. No, motherfucker, no. Learn how to do it for you, just for other folks to know that it could be done. That's all we need from you. Don't tell me how to do nothing, because your way ain't my way. Your way is not my way. That bladder right that you taking might make me break out. That black cohosh you taking might give me a goddamn headache. That bird out you taking, it might make me get the runs. You know what I'm saying? That Irish mouse you goddamn got, it may get me constipated. You know what I'm talking about? So ain't no need in trying to tell everybody, but it ain't no one regimen. That's why you need your owner's manual. Your birthday for you. It ain't no if he eat meat and if they don't nobody eat meat. Don't everybody eat vegetables and come on, man, what the fuck wrong with you? I just told you I've been smoking and drinking since I was 13. My body is geared towards something else. So I gotta stay alive. So at the end of the day, if you take alcohol from an alcoholic, his ass gonna die. So you can't rip the pacifier out of folks' mouth without putting something else in there. And a lot of folks got this it just you don't go vegan and y'all don't know how to heal no damn body, man. You gotta know transition. You got to understand transition. You got to be able to put folks through transition. And that's why it's not a panacea product, but there is a panacea program. And the ancient people have been knowing this since the beginning of time. I ain't the first one to do this. I'm just the first one to do it now. That's it. I'm just the first one to bring that ancient shit for real. Not none of that old hocus pocus. This ain't voodoo, hoodoo. This ain't tarot card reading. This ain't no motherfucker bones and shells. We ain't doing that no more. We don't got to. We wasn't doing that in the beginning. That's tribal. That's engineered stuff. That's taught. That ain't gifting. That ain't gifting. That's talent. That's taught. That's why people can go and be sangomas, and you can go to school to be a sangoma. You can go to school to be an herbalist because it's taught. You ain't gifted. You ain't chosen to do this. You answering that goddamn cell phone and you answered the call, but you ain't got chosen. I ain't getting no call. Ain't nobody called me. My phone didn't ring. That's the difference between chosen people and the call. The call is your phone rang. You had a choice to pick it up or not. I ain't getting no choice in this. Owner's manual with Shank, DM me, you get your owner's manual. Okay? DM me, you get your owner's manual, you guys. Let me show y'all something. I brought some receipts. Keep tapping out, keep talking. I brought receipts, man, but for my YouTubers, it's the same thing that I talked about a while ago, y'all. So you ain't missing out on nothing. That's why I did it that way, to make sure that y'all get it on YouTube, because I know y'all can't see these little charts I be putting up here. So that's why I did it that way, YouTuber. So you guys got it. It ain't gonna do nothing but re-emphasize what we talked about. Medicine of peace, medicine of stress. Okay, this shit real. Okay, serotonin stabilizes your mood. Oxytocin, all right, promotes bonding. Endorphins relieve the pain. GABA is the reduces the anxiety. Some of you guys out here dealing with anxiety issues and panic attacks and panic disorders and dealing with bad nerves and all this type of stuff. It could just simply be your GABA. It could simply be your gamma aminobutyric acid or aminobutyric acid, whatever you want to say it. It could just simply be that. A lot of you guys are dealing with high blood pressure, high blood sugar. A lot of you guys are dealing with high heart rates. It can simply be these medicines of stress. You fucking don't need high blood pressure medication, you guys. You don't need it. Unless you have a really big blockage, an obstruction. Listen to what I'm telling you. Gamma, Gamma, amino butyric, butyric acid. GABA, GABA. GABA stands for gamma amino butyric acid. Okay? So some of you guys, look at that. Cortisol increases blood sugar. Adrenaline raises heart rate. Noradrenaline blocks the focus. But you thinking your kids got ADHD. Cytokines, they're triggering inflammation. That means your immune system, right? Cytokines come from the immune system. So remember I told you that immunity equals infection and inflammation. Anybody say something about inflammation, you got an immune problem, because that's an immune response. To inflammation, you create an immune response. Cytokines, that's what this is. Cytokines is that immune response for inflammation. Okay? So that's what you guys need to worry about, okay, and understand. All right, let's keep it going. You put that right there, I got it. Appreciate you, boss. Hey, what's going on? Chief? I ain't know that was you, man. I'm good in the good to see you. Yeah. Okay, yes, sir, man. Appreciate you. Yes. Yeah, so you must understand those things, okay? All right. How do you get rid of sinusitis? The biggest thing to get rid of sinusitis is going to be plantain, right? So a herb called plantain. I normally put that with a little bit of ginger, right? So it's plantain, ginger, and then maybe a little bit of golden seal if you want to go that route. What it is that it'll thin the mucus. So golden seal thins the mucus. Plantain is going to be good, and then the ginger also is going to be drying up and all that type of stuff. So those three mixed together should be pretty good for your sinusitis. And the pain is from inflammation usually. What about boils underneath the arm? Anytime Sammy Staley, anytime you have boils on your body, period, it means that you're dealing with an infection. Okay. The only thing about it is it bacterial or viral, right? If it's a bacterial infection, then you can probably go get some echinacea or something like that, maybe some Paudiaco or something like that. But if it's something more egregious, and I always tell people this: if you got glandular swelling, if it's a boil to me is like a lymphatic gland. Okay, so if you got lymphatic swelling, go get you some poke root. Okay, some poke root and get rid of that. But balls under your arms anywhere means you got an infection, and you got to be careful that, especially if you're a woman. Not it's an herb called. Okay, allergic to pollen, doctors have not helped. Anybody that got any kind of allergies has a overactive immune system. Okay, this is a overactive immune system will create allergies and autoimmune issues. So therefore, I just gave you the secret. If it's overactive, calm it down. Okay, so you shouldn't be using immune boosters. When you're dealing with allergies, you don't use immune boosters. When you're dealing with autoimmune issues, you do not use immune boosters. You use modulators. Okay, modulation, but not boosting. My daughter has epilepsy, multiple meds, no control. No, it's just that your daughter is a vivid dreamer. Okay, she's one of the chosen ones as far as dreaming. So a lot of our young ladies who got epilepsy, bipolarism, a lot of anxiety and depression disorders, or people who are basically oracles, right? They dream vividly. That shit feel real. And when you got a dream that feel real, it's hard to tell between the dream and reality. So therefore, you call it epilepsy, you call it schizophrenia, you call it bipolarism, you call it this because a bipolar is polarity, right? It's the opposite of stuff, right? So at the end of the day, she's just a vivid dreamer. You need to make sure that you keep away from the cold foods and drinks, right? So she shouldn't be drinking a lot of cold drinks with ice in them, nothing like that. Shouldn't be trying to cool the body down too much. The warmer you keep the body, the less the epilepsy. Miss Arnell. Okay. I put in my request for my owner's manual. Okay. We will get it to you. It's normally a 24-hour process for you to get it. Okay. But if you're looking for something to do, Miss Arnell, just get your owner's manual. You can't get the secrets on here. Okay. For $50 you pay, you get everything your daughter needs without no guesswork. But just coming on the live, don't try to do. Your daughter means more to you than that. So you can't fish for it like that, baby. You got to go and get the real deal. $50, we give you the real deal. Then you go and get your herbs and you do what you got to do to heal your baby. But just trying to fish, it's more you got to do. I want you to know that it is more you got to do. Let's see here. What else that we have here? Yeah, y'all know I ain't gonna tell y'all nothing wrong though. That's one thing about it. We ain't gonna lie to you to make it sound fly to you. If you guys need something else, we're gonna tell y'all. All right. So boom, again, medicines of peace, right? So you see this right here. Again, we're talking about the serotonin, calm, stable mode, but it can be a poison. Now, this is what I want to teach y'all, that these things could be good and they can be bad, right? So now if you got too much serotonin, you can get over detachment, confusion. If you got too much oxytocin, you can get over dependent, lack of boundaries, manipulation. If you got too much endorphins, then you lose that, you get desensitized, right? And then also you get the addictions. They become more extreme, right? You got to think about like these weightlifters and all these people using all these drugs and stuff like that. And people getting tattoos all over there. Why? Because the endorphins, they don't lost their sense of pain. So they'll work out like a motherfucker. They'll take everything to get big. They'll go tattoos. They'll put everything in every hole on the body because they all out of the balance. And when you're out of the balance, these are the things that can happen, okay? And then also you got the GABA. Well, the poison, you get sedated, stagnation, depression. So if you got too much GABA, you can get depressed. You got the right balance, you can meditate and calm and get it away. You get too much endorphins, you desensitize the pain. You'll do anything to yourself. Addictions. You get too much oxytocin, then hell, you too codependent, you too overdependent, you too attached. If you get too much serotonin, now you're too detached. So you see there's a proper balance with all of these different things. Let's see what we got right here. Same thing with the medicines of war, okay? The medicines of stress, cortisol. It's medicine because you need it for emergency. But if you're too chronic, it's going to burn you out. Chronic inflammation, early aging. Why do we age? Everlasting life, because you're stressing. You're stressing, y'all. Listen to what I'm telling you. Keep tapping out, keep talking. Okay? Adrenaline, right? It's a medicine. Adrenaline ain't going, it don't supposed to hurt you. It's for your quick action and your sharp senses. It's for you to move and do what you got to do at a quick pace. But if you don't balance it, this can create the anxiety, the panic attacks, and the heart strain. You think that you got anxiety. It could just be an unbalanced adrenaline. Okay? Noradrenaline. It's medicine. It helps you focus and be alert. But if you keep using too much of it, it becomes a poison and it allows you to be hyper vigilant, paranoia, and tension. Anybody know schizophrenia? Too paranoid? Anybody know folks that's high tension? And because you can just be too imbalanced in your noradrenaline, okay, or your norepinephrine. Another one is glutamate. A lot of y'all don't know nothing about this glutamate, but it's medicine. It's for your brain alertness and your memory. Dementia. Somebody said dementia. It's for your brain alertness and memory. Somebody said brain fog. So, but you thinking you need herbs and you think you need medications. You just need to know thyself. And you'll see that you don't need shit but to calm your ass down and get out of the rat race that this life has engineered you to be. It's not built for everlasting life. So you got to create the environment for this. So we got to teach you how to do this first. Can't just do it. Because if I can teach you how to heal yourself and don't teach you how to change your life, you'll go back into a life that will create the disease. We'll just keep going back and forth, you guys. Okay? We'll just keep going back and freaking forth if y'all don't get this, okay? If I can hear you right now, cool. We learn that as we go. And I've put so much life into this shit, like so much of my life, my sicknesses and my illnesses and my issues. And I come on here every day being transparent. You know what I'm saying? About everything that I do. I don't have to like kick it, but at the end of the day, this healed me. I had an autoimmune disease. This healed me. I created a business behind this. It got me to where I am today. So I'm living proof that this works. And if you're interested in your owner's manual, it's the best interest you can ever have. If you ever doubted anything, don't doubt this. If you're trying to restructure your life, if you're trying to reinstitute your belief system around what's real and what's not, give me a try. All I need is your birthday. I don't need shit up. I don't need no birth time, birth location. I don't need your social security number. I don't need no driver's license number. I don't need your credit card number. I don't need none of that. Okay? All we need is just your birthday, and just let me show you what nature does, not me. A lot of y'all be trying to give me the credit, but it ain't me because I don't know you before you give me your birthday, and I don't know your ass after you give me your birthday. So when you see that, that's not me writing that. That's nature that's telling you that God knows you by name, knows you by birth. You really have, you an inspiration to many of us. I thank you, Angelica25. Thank you. Appreciate that a lot. Okay. All right. So understanding those things are being produced. Now you understand that those are your medicines. Everybody kept asking me, is this real? Is this real? Is this real? Is this real? I gave you scientific, fact-based situation right there. Now you can go and research yourself and see exactly what this stuff is all about. But the stuff is real. Okay. You are producing these things every single day. Okay. Day in and day out. All right. These are where some of this stuff is located in the body. So you got your serotonin produced in the brain and gut, oxytocin produced in the hypothalamus. Your endorphins are produced in the pituitary gland and in the muscles, and the GABA, right? The gamma amino butyric acid, right, is produced in the brain and the pancreas. Okay, so when you're having these problems, look at these places. So when you're talking about heart disease, if the endorphins are produced by the pituitary gland and in the muscles, right? So we know the pituitary gland is in the brain. But if you're talking about pain, heart disease, that's a heart that's not at ease. Heart disease is a heart that's not. Heart disease, that means you got to bring peace to the love in your life. Liver disease, that means you got to bring peace to the anger and frustration in your life. You see? So we've been teaching y'all this over and over and over again. I've been teaching y'all this, right? Y'all get it? I've been teaching this over and over and over again. Okay? Over and over and over again. You see that? Anger and frustration gets in the liver and the gallbladder. We got to get the peace so that we can heal the liver and gallbladder. You got heart and you got small intestinal issues. When they say small intestine, that means anybody dealing with absorption issues, malabsorption, malnutrition, autoimmune issues can cause this too. Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis can cause malnutrition or malabsorption. That's hate and impatience. Lord knows I need some patience. But you need peace, or you won't get it in the heart or the small intestine. A lot of you guys are dealing with immune issues. You're dealing with what you call that, sickle cell, spleen, the stomach, the pancreas, blood sugar, worry and anxiety. You got to get peace with tomorrow. You can't be worried about tomorrow. Otherwise, it's going to mess with the spleen, the stomach, and the blood sugar, right? Lungs and large intestine, sadness and depression. If you got problems with your lungs and your large intestine, meaning if you got problems with constipation, that's large intestine. You got a problem with going to the bathroom in any kind of way, that's large intestine, right? Large intestine is going to be the colon. So if you got colon issues and lung issues, look at sadness and depression and get peace. Kidneys and bladder. Kidneys and the bladder, we said again, that's fear and fright. We got to get peace in these areas. And once you get peace in these areas, everything will be okay. Okay. Another thing, look at what cortisol do. High cortisol creates fatigue, inflammation, allergies. Somebody just asked me about allergies. Okay. Anxiety, poor sleep, insulin resistance, immune suppression. I'm telling you, it's not what you're eating. It's what's eating you. It's not what you're eating. It's what's eating you mentally. What's eating you? What's ailing you? Why aren't you at ease? And I'm telling you, it's because of your preconceived engineering and expectation. You want me to be like somebody else. You want me to be like what you've seen on TV. You want me to be like you've seen posted, and you just can't accept me for being me. And that's going to get you in a world of problems. That's going to get you in a world of problems. If you got low cortisol, fatigue, inflammation, allergies. So this pain and allergy thing could just be a cortisol issue, not a drug. You don't need drugs or herbs. You just need to chill. Y'all don't get it, man. You said shrink that a little more, please. Can't see the side. Oh, okay. It's too big for everybody. If I shrink it a little more, hell, I can't see it. So let me just do it like this. I'm going to blow it up and then just push it over. Mental health is very important. Mental health is the most imperative. Okay. Dopamine. This is what most of us are on, right? The dope. Developmental problems if it's too high.
schizophrenia, psychosis, possible increased testosterone production. So a lot of times when you guys thinking you're on dopamine, a lot of times you're on testosterone, right? So men use testosterone during sex and not necessarily the oxytocin that we should be using. Women are producing more oxytocin during lovemaking than men. So if a man is doing more dopamine and a woman is doing more oxytocin, she love, but he don't. It's sex for him, is love for her. She wants one man, he wants multiple because it's not love for him. It's just dopamine. It's pleasure. I'm gonna keep it moving from that. I ain't gonna say too much more. Okay. Noradrenaline, stress and anxiety, hyperactivity, increased blood sugar, pain. All that stuff could be just because of your noradrenaline. You don't need blood pressure medication. You don't need pain pills. You see, you need to just chill your ass out. You can't sleep, insomnia, anxiety, stress, blood sugar imbalance, insulin resistance. Some of y'all diabetes, you just need to chill. You don't need metformin. Okay. Neurotoxicity, anxiety, stress, decreased mood, sleep disturbances. Some of y'all don't need vitamin D. You just need to sleep and chill. Okay. Headache, mental confusion. Okay. Because you got high serotonin. Headache, mental confusion, sweating, shivering. Okay. Muscle twitching, tremor. Some of you guys got dementia and brain fog. You don't need no medications. The serotonin too high. Just need to chill. Balance it out. GABA too high, anxiety, tingling in extremities. Some of y'all think it's neuropathy that you're tingling in your extremities. And my hand and feet tingling. We always gonna say neuropathy from what I was taught, but it just could be your GABA. This shit crazy. This shit crazy, man. These folk is over medicating the people because you don't know thyself, and out of your ignorance, create industry. Okay. Now look at this. All the same stuff, lack of motivation, focus, memory, addictions. You got addictions issues. That could be simply due to what? The dopamine too low. So that means you need something to keep you going because the dopamine too low. So you keep smoking cigarettes to keep the dopamine going, to keep the feeling, the pleasure going. You keep having sex. You keep masturbating. What you know what I'm saying? You keep low libido, decreased testosterone. See, brothers? You see that? If you got low libido, decreased testosterone, you talking about ED, is because of the dopamine. It's too low. Okay? Lack of focus, energy, motivation, depression with apathy. Look at that, what that is. Okay? Look at that, what that is. If you guys want to come up on the live, come on with it. That's your noradrenaline, right? So norepinephrine. Poor methylation, lack of focus, lack of energy, poor blood sugar control. People talking about the methylation and trying to do all that. You ain't got to do no methylation herbs and do no methylation process and all this stuff they trying to do on the damn YouTube. You got to do that. You just got to get your adrenaline up. Okay? Fatigue, low brain function, poor memory. Again, you don't need the medications because what it is your glutamate is too low. You increase your glutamate and then the brain functionality come back and you don't have dementia, mama. But the dementia is coming from, again, these are being expressed and these are chemicals that are getting into your blood from your mind, from the way you perceive, from the way that you respond to the environmental stimuli. And when mama ain't got a lot going on over there, the glutamate go down when it should be balanced. Because you leaving at the house by herself, she ain't got nothing to do, no kids, no this, nothing, third. Depression, low mood, hot flashes, sleep difficulties, carbohydrate craving. So the fact that you're craving sugar, the sugar cravers can be literally because your serotonin is too low. This shit crazy. Anxiety, PMS, sleep issues, mood disorders. I'm gonna put PMS there and menopause, all due to what? Mood disorders, depression. You think it's your PMS, you think it's depression, but it's something causing the PMS and the depression. And guess what? Your GABA, your gamma aminobutyric acid. It ain't got nothing to do with you need medications. You're producing the poison and you're producing the medicine in you. We just got to get you to figure out how to balance them out so that you're not producing things that are going to create poisons. And so a overexertion of anything, whether it be your stress hormones or whether it be these particular medicines of peace, can cause it to turn into poison. So the understanding is balance, 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 balance. And you can only balance what you can't balance something you don't know. You get all this information in your owner's manual. All right. You get all that information in your owner's manual. If you're interested in your owner's manual, please DM me. Can you show me the whole chart, the screenshot? Now you know that chart for some reason is big for some people, not big for. Why every time I come on here, you in my house? You already know I gotta be like that, Shaquana. Wake up call. Yes, I have my manual. Just need to have consultation call before I order the herbs. Yeah, so you just call me, man. 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As soon as I get off the live, you call me. I'm in South Africa, so you got to save the contact, download WhatsApp, and you call me anytime. What do you suggest for people who need dopamine but turn to hard drugs? So that's what I'm trying to tell you, man. You're gonna have to find something that creates you pleasure in your life without you having to do drugs. And that's why you need peace. The only reason a person is doing drugs, the only reason I did drugs or do drugs, or the only reason I do whatever I do, and the only reason you do whatever you do is because you fucking stressed. There is no peace. So whatever the name of the drug is, give you the peace. Whatever the name of the drug is, it give you the peace. And that means that if it's pain pills, it give you the peace biologically. And if it's if it's the other stuff, it gives you the peace psychologically. But the bottom line is if you're doing any drugs, you're looking for peace. Okay. I just discovered you. What is the manual? The manual is the owner's manual. It serves as a guide for you to balance your life out by exposing your tendencies from nature. All we need is a birthday. We don't do birth time. We don't do birth location. All we need is your birthday. Your birthday is the longest time signature that you have on you based on cosmology and biology. So we use that to serve as a guide for you on this life path, right? So that's pretty much what it is. So for a funky measly $50, you get to get the information on you to actually customize, personalize for you. It's got the herbs, the foods, the lifestyle activities, the nature-based interventions, and all the stuff that you need to do that. Now, we also do have a service to where we're updating your owner's manual yearly. We're going to update it for you yearly. Okay. We also going to allow you guys to be able to download all of your blood tests and lab reviews and stuff like that. If you want somebody to go over it for you or kind of give you some traditional recommendations for traditional medicine, then fine, you guys can do that for us. Also, what you get in that service as well as a health advocate. So if you're just looking for traditional alternative methods to deal with this, that, and the third they've been talking to you about, and you just want to know alternative things you can do, I can be your health advocate. And for all of that, yearly update on your owner's manual, so you don't have to do it. I'll keep track of it for you. Lab reviews and being your health advocate for a lifetime, right, is only $3.99 a month. Okay, and it's a membership. So if you pay $4 a month, $3.99 for $4, I'm all yours whenever you need me. Okay, and that's lab results, that's everything. And you can get that without having the owner's manual. Okay, you can get that without having the owner's manual, but obviously if you ain't got the owner's manual, then there ain't no updating. But I can be your advocate. I can be there for you to look at your lab reviews, your blood tests, whatever you want me to do. I can be in your corner for $3.99. We can kind of help you navigate. Okay, and that's the membership, that's the monthly thing. So you guys can DM me if y'all need that. Somebody say you can't beat that price. Hell no, $3.99, but this shit here, this 2025. Ain't shit no more $4. A goddamn small fry, $5. Goddamn blow pop is $4. A goddamn bottle of water is $4.25. I got that. Look here, I got them right now. They don't even give you no extra packets of ketchup. You understand what I'm talking about? The goddamn ketchup is $2.50. You feel me? Extra straw is $4.75. You understand me? Some more ice in your cup is $5.35. So you get everything for $4. Come on, we're not trying to price gouge. We don't want to ever do that. Okay, it's not about the amount of money; it's about the amount of people. That's what we're trying to do. So we got to make it affordable. A gallon of gas. Who is the founder of this knowledge? Me. I'm the founder of this knowledge. I'm not only the president of it, but I'm also the client. Okay. But if you're looking for what this knowledge come from, I'll give you this real quick so that you guys can get a timeline. All right. So this comes from the ancient. This is the most ancient healing practice on the planet. Let's see. Do I got my history book on her? And I went down and I heard. All right, so that's the history. So they say Babylon, but I say Egypt. Egypt started it. They say Babylon, okay? But you can see, Ptolemy, okay? Galen, okay? Who else you got? Pythagoras. You wouldn't have Pythagorean theorem without this. You wouldn't have anything that Ptolemy and Hippocrates, you wouldn't have none of them without this. Hippocrates said that there should not be any physician that can call himself a physician if he does not know astrology. Hippocrates said that. So Hippocrates was working with cosmology and biology too. And he's the father of medicine. So why take out the spirit and just give me the science? Cosmology and biology. Why take out the spirit? The spirit is cosmology. And just give me the science, biology. It's more than body. It's mind. So that's just to give you a time slot of everybody who used this. The Islamic, the Renaissance, okay? The modern, all this stuff has been using cosmology and biology. They call it that name. I don't give a damn about that name. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not medical, and I'm not an astrologist, so I'm not astrology. Y'all don't understand. I'm just a regular motherfucker that tapped into this energy. You know what I mean? That's it. And I'm just trying to show y'all that if you can channel your energy, channel your focus, you can materialize the things that you want in life. DM you where? My email. Okay. If you're trying to look for me, Celia, you want to DM me in the email or just email me. Okay. Matter of fact, I'll give you the email here. Let me see. You guys bear with me. Keep talking. You keep tapping. You guys all keep talking. All right. So that is the email right there. Celia. You email me, we'll get you the information that you need. Thank you. How about autism and nonverbal? How about autism and a nonverbal person? Yes, it's through the gut. Okay, it's through the gut. So you got to clean the gut and the nervous system, right? So it's the nervous system, it's the endocrine system, and it's the immune system. The immune system is going to bring in the digestive system because 80% of your immune system is in your digestion system. So when I say digestion, we're talking immune. When I say immune, we're talking digestion. You guys got to really understand this stuff because that's how they fooling y'all. You think you need all these different shit. 80% of your immune system is in your gut. What I do to the gut, I do to the immune system. So when I'm saying immune system, know that means digestive. So you got to do nerve, endocrine, and immune, which means digestion. And those are your four horsemen. Okay, and autism will go away. And that's for autism, that's for ADHD, that's for dementia, that's for Parkinson's, that's for all of these different little brain things. You got to do those three things, and really you ultimately got to do those three things for everything. I got MS trying to find something natural. Yeah, Big West, we always deal with MS, man. So get your owner's manual and get a detox. That's all you're gonna need. That's deep, man. Thanks for breaking it down. Email didn't show up. Nah, she asked me about this on my YouTube, you guys. I didn't could you put the email in the chat, please? I just emailed that through the YouTube, you guys. So you should see my email pop up here shortly with the moderator. Okay. Any other questions before we get up out of here? I got about 13 more minutes. Let's keep tapping, you guys. We're almost about 100K. We got about 17,000 more to go. Hi, what ups can I use for puffy eyes? Anytime you got puffy eyes, just do an eye wash with Eye Bright. A herb called Eye Bright, and do a eye wash. Okay. But you still got to look at the root cause of your puffy eyes. You know? So you got to look at that. But if you're just trying to get rid of your eyes like y'all be trying to do, put some Eye Bright in there. Okay, I was looking too. Oh, can you put the email in there? Yeah, because they're looking for the email. Anxiety won't go away. The anxiety won't go away because the stress is still there, Renard. Renard D. Barber. Your anxiety won't go away because the stress is still there. You can't get the anxiety away until you deal with the stress. That stressor is still in your life. So you're going to be worried as long as that thing is still there to worry you. So we got to take that thing away in order for the anxiety to go. Anxiety is not your problem. It's the thing that's causing anxiety. You can't tell me that on here, but that's what you need to work on, okay? So don't put up the anxiety. Put up there the thing that's creating anxiety, and then we can really fix y'all. And that's what I'm trying to teach y'all about thyself, so you'll know how to articulate your problems to people. You'll know how to tell them the real truth about what's going on with you. And that's why we got this owner's manual for you guys to put a name to it, the right name to it. Improper diagnosing is a big thing going on in the medical industry. And improper diagnosing ain't just getting your problem wrong. It's also telling you got something when you don't. And a lot of you guys are not knowing that you're going in the hospital and you're getting diagnosed with high blood pressure when you don't. I just told you what could be causing it. I just told you all the stuff that can cause blood sugar, all the stuff that can cause these things that you're dealing with. I just told y'all this shit. So you know that is your that's doing it. Why go in there and bargain and get some medication? You know all you need to do is sit your ass down. Everybody know that. If you're dealing with arthritis in your knees, that's a prime sign telling you to sit your ass down. Okay? If you're dealing with pain, you got to sit down somewhere. If you're dealing with digestive issues, stop eating, chill out. If you're dealing with this issue or that issue, y'all know what to do. Y'all know what to do. So why go into these hospitals and let these folks prescribe you some shit that you know you need to sit your ass down? Why? Because you don't want to stop doing what you're doing. You just want something to go along with it so that you don't have the fear of dying immediately. But eventually you're okay with that. But the immediate part is what you're trying. So just give me the pill to go along with the thrill. That's so cool. We'll do that. What about right side chest pain? All right, if you got any kind of chest pain on the right side, okay, the right side of the body is going to be dealt with from the left side of the brain, right? So if you're dealing with the left side of the brain, then you must understand which side, what nervous system you're working with. So normally the left side of the brain. Let me see if I pull this up real quick. You guys keep tapping. I got about 10 minutes. Let me teach this real quick so y'all can see this. Keep tapping. I'll keep talking. You guys keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Right now, I'm pulling up the nervous system on YouTube, and I'm pulling up the nervous system to show you guys about which side of the brain operates the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system, so that it can give us an inference on what it is that we would need to take, right? So if it's sympathetic, then we know we need to take some relaxants. If it's parasympathetic, then we know we need to take some stimulants. And that'll help you decipher and assess what herbs you need. That's why we teach people how to heal themselves. Once you know how your body works, you can do this. You can do it. Okay? Once you know how your body works, you can do this. Bam. So there we go. The nervous system. Y'all see that? Okay, so you look at the right side of the brain, you're looking at the left side. Okay? So if a person is at the left side, then that's parasympathetic. So if you got right side of the body chest pain, right? Automatically is letting me know what the pain. We talked about norepinephrine. So first of all, the fact that your norepinephrine is not killing the pain problem until you're moving around or doing something like that, that could be the problem. Low epinephrine, right? I mean, endorphins. Your endorphins are low. So therefore, because they the real painkillers. So right now, they ain't killing the pain, the chest pain. Then we look at the location, the chest. Okay. So is it the lungs? Is it the heart? Okay. And then now what associates with that? Okay. Now pain is inflammation. So my first notice is inflammation is immune. So we're going to be looking at, and then I'm looking at the area. So I'm looking at lungs, respiratory, heart, and I'm looking at grief and depression. Okay. If you're suffering from grief and depression, or sadness and depression, or sadness and loss, that can be a reason for your chest pain. Okay. Now you can take herbs, you can take medications, but if grief and depression is actually the root cause, that med and that herb ain't gonna do nothing with that. Stop spending y'all money and start coming to the show and learning for free how to heal yourself. All right. Healthcare is probably the most complicated and multifaceted field. Yes, it is, but it is very easy to be able to understand if you have a system. And the owner's manual and that cosmology biology is a system. Okay. And so with a system, it don't worry about how complicated it is, especially when you're going back into nature. Machines can't figure you out because machines are linear. You're not linear, you're a spiral. So machines, mathematics, medication, all of that stuff is linear. It's straight line. It's beeline. That's why they say rob Peter to pay Paul. It's beeline. They go straight for what you put it in there for, and don't give a damn about nobody else or nothing else. It does the compute. It does the input. That's a linear situation. Folks be complicated. We are complicated. We're spiral. So therefore, then you should know that the medical facility can't fuck with you. They're not spiral enough. They're not spiral enough in their delivery of the information. They're not holistic enough in their delivery of the information. So therefore, the medical facility is not equipped to deal with the human body because it's not equipped with the machinery it got. So you go back, ancient machine, ancient technology is better because it's spiral and more holistic, where modern technology is more concentrated, more direct, and more linear. And it's a time and a place for that. But when you're looking at holistics as a whole, we can see it's not working. Okay, it's not working. The machines are not working. The medications are not working for the majority. For a few of us, we slip through the cracks, but for the majority of us, that healthcare system is not benefiting you. How can you be the sickest place on earth with the most doctors? Because you're the sickest place on earth. You would think that the most doctors would make y'all the most healthiest people on the planet, but Americans are the sickest workforce on the planet, and y'all got the most doctors. So we don't care nothing about the healthcare. They're trying to replicate blood is not going to work out. No, there's nothing going to work out but nature. There's nothing that's going to work because the thing about it is that you're changing. You're not like computer. Computer upgrade all the time. Your cell phone is going to upgrade by itself, but you are upgrading as well. And you upgrade at a faster pace than a computer and your cell phone. So that means that computers are building your hospitals. They're building your healthcare industry. The machines are the ones that is your healthcare. But they're not updating as fast as you are, so they lag behind how to keep up with your motherfucking ass and these diseases that you get. And the only thing that don't lag is something that changes at the same pace or faster than you, and that's nature. And we can keep pace with you with your birthday, pimp, by getting the owner's manual, man. Look, I love you guys, man. It's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. And until next time, love HerbMan. If you guys are interested in your owner's manual, please DM me, and we'll get you that information. Until next time, peace, 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 peace. Woo-say! Yes, sir! They just be happy I be out.